Kasungu International, and welcome to another episode of How I Made It. And today we're going to be talking about Linga Wine. So stay tuned as you get to meet my guest.
I've gotta do, so I'm not crying.
Alright guys, so this is my lovely guest, Mrs. Ngwira, who produces Linga Wine. So introduce yourself, let people know you.
Thank you very much, Gungi. It's really exciting to have you and your team here.
Yeah.
This opportunity to let another group of people know about our fine Linga wine. We started making, I'm Margaret Ngwira, I think you said that.
Yeah.
We started making Linga wine with my late husband in 1978 on our way back from Canada from his PhD. CCAP Mbusa had kitted him out with the things
Yeah.
the things he needed for making the wine. So we made it on a hobby level from 1978. But my husband, being an analytical biochemist, was very passionate about the idea of adding value to local fruits, because we know you can cry sometimes you see the strawberries, the peaches, whatever, and very, very little steady market.
Yeah.
So the value addition side was quite an important one for us. So we made it at home in Bunda as a hobby. We had, demijohns, and they were in the pantry, and then gradually they came out of the pantry onto the kitchen floor. And then we went to Namibia, we came back here, and it was really getting, but this was just as a hobby, but it was getting a bit much.
Yeah.
So then we went on to commercial winemaking in 2006 and built onto our garage a part of a winery, and then in 2015 we expanded it to be much more functional.
Yeah.
So the value addition side is really important, to do something with the fruits. Also, we both are academic. I'm a librarian. I've been in Bunda and Kamuzu College of Nursing, Tim at Bunda,
Yeah.
University of Namibia, in various countries,
Yeah.
and have a passion for working with students, working with young people, doing something really that matters to them. So Tim, as a scientist, felt that it's important for the students to understand science in action. You don't just do your science at metabolic pathways, something, but you can actually apply this to an income generating activity, whether it's soap making, whether it's meat production, or whether it's wine making.
Yeah.
So right from the beginning of the winery, we've been very happy to have interns and students and work with groups on the capacity building side. So that's been very nice. I've got lovely photos of him even not long before he died, with all the Bunda students around him, and he's just so animated, looking
Yes,
so happy, because they would come maybe twice a year for practicals and just to see the processes.
Yeah.
So that was how the wine making started, and we built a relationship with various farmers that we buy the fruit from the same people every year, so they know. And if you look at our YouTube channel, there's Linga Wine YouTube channel, you will see the farmers saying, we get a good price for our fruit from Linga Wine.
Yes.
Now we're able to have pigs, we're able to have goats, we've improved our life because we know we've got this
You
reliable.
always buy
Every
them,
December,
yeah.
January, we know the Ngwiras will come several times with a little pickup fillet with fruit.
Yes.
And for a rural family in December, January, it matters to have that stable income.
that's
And then, but the way the fruits are, then there's guava in April, May, there's rosella in May, June, there's strawberries in September, mulberries in October, jambula December, peaches, plum, so it comes throughout the year. We have the cycle of fruits, so that's why we're producing wine almost throughout the year.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, like you said, that you started as a hobby.
Yeah.
Were you guys a fan of drinking wine, so that you then decide, oh, let's start our own brand, or how did it actually happen?
Not especially a fan of drinking wine, but the Mbusa who introduced him, he was making it for communion wine in St. Michael and All Angels many years ago. So that was the beginning. But the Bible in Psalms talks about God gives us olive oil to make our face shine,
Yes.
bread to make us strong, and wine to make us happy.
Yeah.
So there are many different verses in the Bible about the good side and the bad side of wine,
Yeah.
of alcohol, and I think it's good to emphasize both of them. You must do it wisely,
Yes.
but used well, wine is a good gift from God. It's a gift, and Jesus at the marriage of Cana and so on. So we do feel we're doing something very positive.
Yes.
And quality matters. My husband was a perfectionist. Everything had to be absolutely 100%. So we got the Malawi standard by about 2010, MS178, country wine production. And then in the last 5 years, we've been in a very tough process of ISO 22000 food safety management system. So we were the first company to be certified by Malawi Bureau of Standards as operating a food safety management system. So anybody knows when they buy Linga that everything has been, we ask the farmers, we check the pickup, we look at the chemicals, we look at the trees, we have questionnaires, how they harvest. Everything is monitored so that we know we're giving you a quality product, and we're quite proud of that.
Okay. Okay, so how has the journey been from when you guys started just doing it at your home to starting a proper company of producing the wine? How has it been like?
It's tremendously interesting. You know, as I say, we were both academics. My last job was librarian at Kasungu College of Nursing, and then I was one of the founders of Ubuntu Net Alliance, but doing this part-time. But it's been such fun, but a huge challenge because neither of us has a business background. So I have to do the accounts, start with turnover tax, then learn about VAT, about withholding tax, about excise. There's so many taxes you don't even know about. And then till we finally get tax clearance. We started as a family partnership, but with Dr. Ngwira dying, that was no longer relevant. So now we're a limited company, Linga Fine Foods and Winery Limited, and my two sons are directors with me. And the process of doing that, you know, each thing we are learning, and then I'm part of the National Association of Small and Medium Enterprises, so I'm able to share with the people who are just, you know, somebody say, Margaret, how did you get your bottles? Where did you get your glasses? Can you lend us some boxes? How did you do this? You know, and we're able, and Leighton, our manager also, and Lillian Chimbayo, who used to be with us, you know, they've been able to help other companies to say, this is how you do it. So that is, you know, as people who, academia is very much with us, it's just really nice to see the transfer of skills. And then, of course, it's interesting, we have friends now all over the world who are interested in Linga. We have Africanus Drinks in Britain, is able to supply it anywhere globally. You can order it online from them. We have David Salako in Texas who's trying to bring 100 boxes there to a company called Bonongwe. We have a really good man in Rwanda who's desperate to get 30 boxes, but we don't know how to get it there. Both sides we're struggling. Even ask the freight companies in Malawi, how do you get things to Rwanda? Very difficult. Even to Zimbabwe, to go across two Mozambique borders. Not easy. So these are the challenges we're facing at the moment, but they're fun challenges because, you know, I suppose maybe we're older, we've done so much already that it's not that our kids are going to drop out of school if we don't get this to really be so viable. We've educated them well and they have good positions. But it's mostly it's really positive. There's some days when you say, like when maybe you get charged something that you don't think is right, and it takes about a month to convince the people that no, this wasn't right. And I'm very stubborn, so if I don't think it's right, I go at it. We do lovely wine tasting events. Sometimes people have a birthday, sometimes there's, you know, more formal events at the Rondavel at the back there, and that's really fun. And I mean, I remember one couple, the guy saying, you know, my wife and I, we don't really like to go to bars and places. It's been so nice to come here. We are free, and we do quizzes, we do wine, you know, different things for the wine tasting. It's really a fun event. And the one problem with it is that at the end, people don't want to go home. They can be sitting here after dark and I'm saying, but now they say, no, we're happy here. We even had public health doctors from all over Southern Africa who came for wine tasting, staying in BICC. At the end they said, don't you guys have beds? We don't want to go, you know, because I promise you, after 3 glasses of Linga, you're so relaxed and you're so happy. You just want to stay. And we've proved this time after time after time, I tell you. So if you have 3.5 glasses before you go, you will see how you feel.
All right, so how many flavors do you, how many varieties do you do?
We don't use the word flavors because flavors implies something's been added. This is pure fruit. So we have seven flavors. You've got me saying flavors. We've got 7 varieties. We start just now with the jambula, peaches and plums, and then we're just moving on to the white guava, then the rosella, and then the strawberries and the mulberries. Then the jambula. That's the cycle of the whole year. It goes round the whole year. So there's no month where maybe March we're not starting, but almost every month we're starting wine. And then it takes more than a year before we're ready to bottle it. It's a minimum. We say a minimum of a year. But the one like this guava there, I think I don't know about that mulberry, but the guava you're drinking is 2015. This one is 2018. But you always know with Linga that it's been, you know, it's been left a long time in that cool cellar to get that lovely, smooth, rich taste.
So which one is your favorite one among all the varieties?
Mine is guava, the white guava, this one. And we call that the everyday stress buster. So in the middle of the week, if you've really had a tough week, you're feeling sad, you're feeling stressed, just a little glass of Linga white guava and your troubles
will go away. You'll relax.
Just drain away, and you might even sing a song to your loved one if it really goes well. But everybody has their own favourite, and I think with the guys and most people probably the jambula is the favourite. But for the hotels, like for Sunbird hotels, the mulberry is very nice as a red wine, as an accompaniment with red meats. We have a very nice pairing chart, a colour pairing chart that shows you which wine goes with which particular foods. And you also on our website we've got a Linga I think we've got Linga cuisine where you can add it to your gnocchi, you can add it to your pasta. There's different recipes.
Yeah.
Delicious soups. You can make soups with sweet potatoes and pumpkins and just a dash of Linga white guava or Linga peach, and it becomes that little bit more exotic.
Okay, so maybe other people might not know if they have never tasted the Linga wine. Can you maybe explain the percentage and if you have sweet, dry, or...
Yeah, well, thanks very much, Emily. That's an important question. And the thing, some people say, oh, Linga wine is sweet, Linga wine is not anything particular. You may see we have about 100 drums, and every drum is one particular variety. And from its starts, even if you start 3 drums of mulberry at the same time, some will end up sweeter and some will end up drier. They just naturally ferment, and then one may have 11 bricks, one may have 9 bricks. That's the measurement of sugar, the scientific measurement of how much sugar is left. So you really have to look at the bottle, and when you buy the bottle, you look at the back here, and it will tell you this one is a memorable medium dry red wine.
Yeah.
This one might tell you it's a very dry one.
Yeah.
This one will tell you it's a sweeter one.
White guava.
Some of the plum is sweeter and some is drier.
This is medium sweet.
Yeah, and this is a medium dry golden. 2015, we've just bottled this 2015 plum. It is beautiful. Yeah.
Okay.
So it varies. So when you buy it, you look at the back of the bottle. It tells you when you're pregnant, don't drink it. And it's supposed to say don't take it if you're under 18. And then this is the batch number, the year of make,
2018.
and up at the top it also tells you medium dry wine, serve this chilled with red meats, pulses or spicy dishes, or with Belgian chocolate. So there's advice on what to have, each label. So each batch we do a different label. It's not a standard label. We vary the label, we taste it, and then we compile the label. And then we go down to VisiFlex and get it printed.
So where can people find the Linga wine here? Which
it's in Lilongwe, it's all over. It's, Spar, Shoprite, Angone, Bowie, Jacaranda, Afrivine, Wineworth, Chris Van, just all over in Lilongwe. Blantyre it's not so much, it's in Spar, Shoprite, Cumawinella, Afrochoke, Zombas, Metro and Afrochoke. It's been harder for us to find. The old Spar shops, it was great, they had it in Mzimba and Katabe, but these shops are closed down, which is really sad for us. So we are looking for more opportunities to be selling it in the slightly out of town places, but it's in Chio, at Total. The filling stations have been quite good.
Yeah, so you also talked about you've been exporting some of the wines.
We've been sending it to Africanos Drinks since about 2015, so anyone in the world can buy it online from Africanos Drinks, and you just pay, and it will come in a lovely big DHL thing with a kind of blown up plastic thing that I need to buy some. We have sent quite a few boxes to Zimbabwe in the last 6 months, but then with the lockdown at the moment it's really been quite complicated. That has been complicated, and they want to be importing a lot of guava, mulberry, and guava rosella and jambula. So we're just trying to work with them, but now because everything's locked down, it's hard to get further information. So we're working on seeing, and then we would customise a brand from them with a slightly different labelling. So we're working on that at the moment, if it works. The Rwanda, I don't know where, the guy did some internet search and heard about it, and then we sent him 6 bottles and he got a very, very positive response. And then another guy in Zimbabwe whom I've never met, but we see him on Twitter because we've got quite a big, we've got I think 4,000 something Twitter followers, and he sent us this little thing saying on Twitter, he said, how can I move to Malawi? I want to stay next to the winery, the strawberry, the mulberry, the jambula is calling me. So things like that make us really excited, to say, there's that, and there's a couple, an American-Irish couple who want to open a lodge on the Coma Island, and they say at our Chipondi bar, we will have Linga there. They said, we just can't believe this, it's so good.
So how is the business like, the wine business here in Malawi?
In Malawi,
you guys being one of the first people also to have a wine company.
Well, there was Mulunguzi wines before from Zomba, and they made it with these little fruits from the plateau. So they had, I think they were part of a project. We are not a project, we're completely self-funded. So she finished, Nyandovi Kerr probably stopped by the mid-90s, I think. So then we picked up, in 2006, we actually formally launched the business. It's every year we are expanding, but we're not where we'd like to be. I think Malawi with the new system that we have at the moment, we need to be so proud of our local products, and we need to see that when we buy a local product, it's not only that business we're supporting, but we're supporting the farmers, we're supporting the box makers, we're supporting the people who do the jewelry, we're supporting the photographers. There's so many photographers who do beautiful Linga photos. We've got singers, we've got film people. We work very much with the arts as well. We work very closely with Marumbo Sichinga and his poetry festival. Quite often we provide some Linga to a cultural event or something like that. So we see, and I think other people too see Linga very much linked with art and culture, you know, fine wine, poetry, music. We feel very at home in that kind of niche. And I love working. I love, you know, as an older person to have this close relationship with young creative people.
That's actually good.
I'm really blessed. Not many people have that.
Yeah. That's
I don't mean not many people, but not many very elderly people.
Yeah. And it's actually good that you empower also different people, like the farmers, the people that also help you with the winery, and all these other. So it's a good thing because you're also helping a different number of people here in Malawi with employment or opportunities as well to have some to earn a living. So what can you advise somebody who maybe would like to have their own brand of wine, or just in business in general, or young people about running a business?
It's a good question, and I get asked it regularly. People, you know, somebody in Kenya at the moment is wanting advice. Somebody else in Malawi is growing grapes in the south. They want advice. We're very free to help anyone who wants. We don't say no. We don't want to share with you. We think the more quality winemakers in Malawi, the better. The only thing, very early on, I said to my husband, "What about competition?" And he burst out laughing. He said, "Who on earth would wait? You know, because you start, the trees take a long time to grow, and then it takes, you know, so it's years and years." So I would say to somebody, don't rely on making money from wine very quickly, because it's a slow process. And I know on social media a lot of people say, "Don't be working from somebody else, work for yourself," and I don't think that's true. I think unless you are really very blessed to have the stability of an income really matters. And then in your spare time, you know, my husband would come home from Bunda having marked 1,000 practicals and been mobbed by students, and put on his white coat and go into the winery in the evening, and he would be happy. He would be happy. It's just different, you know, it's fulfilling. And for me also, even we were, you know, because I was doing it many years while we were still working, and I think that mattered. And then also we were both quite successful in our careers, had some, you know, consultancies and things, so we were able to put capital into developing the business. So to think, let me give up my job and start my business, God bless you, and keep praying, you know, because it will take a lot of prayer. I don't mean it can't be done, but it's not easy. And some of the advice people give you, you say, it's not the way I see it. And then the other thing, be ethical. You know, we tell, you know, whether it's the Bureau, whether it's the Malawi Bureau, Emery, whoever comes, right at the beginning, or a supplier who said, "I don't want to pay VAT," we say, "Then we don't give you wine." We are totally 100% ethical. We pay our taxes, we do everything by the book. And then we feel it's much less easy for people to try to trick you and say, "Oh no." But if you've been doing it a little bit like that, then you may end up paying a bribe that you shouldn't have needed, you know? So my advice is just do it right at the beginning, and then you'll know on the day of judgment you'll be all right, but you'll know also before the day of judgment that you've got it right. And that mattered a lot to both of us. And we're really blessed with the young people who've worked in the winery, like Leighton, our manager, whom you met. I mean, also totally ethical, absolutely. You know, it's quite exciting to see that quality of human resource coming. So we've had some wonderful young people go through the winery. Even Lillian Chumbayo, she said, no, when she went to her next job, she said, they love me because I can generate documents, you know, because of the ISO, she could produce documents so easily. So people are getting transferable skills here as well. There's some who stay with us, like Leighton is our manager. I hope he stays a long time. Others who are here for a shorter time, but when they go, they say, no, I really enjoyed and I learned a lot at Linga. And I think my husband would be so happy at that as well, just to know that that's what it means. And the place is so beautiful. It is. Who couldn't be happy here? We planted all of the trees except that one. When we came, the place was just empty.
Is it?
And we started bit by bit by bit.
The breeze is actually really nice there. I'm saying the breeze is really nice here.
Yes, and you know, if we weren't here, then the Turacos would be at the bird bath, the lizard, you know, the lizard buzzard, the lizard buzzard. Yeah, the lizard buzzard, Yeah, the monitor lizard can wander around and, you know, just quietly doing his own thing. Sometimes you're there and there's a little mongoose coming here and there. So that is, the environment sensitivity is really important. It's a harmony. I think you can feel the harmony, isn't it? It's a place of harmony and peace.
Yes. So what is the future for Linga Wine?
We have bought a beautiful 4 hectares by the airport. We have planted, even 2 weeks ago, my grandson and Leighton were there, we planted about 200 fruit trees over the last year. Not that we want to get rid of the rural farmers at all, but just to have a backup, you know. We also plan and hope and pray that we can find a way to get funding, perhaps matching grants, investments and things to build a proper winery. Well, I don't say we're an improper winery, but you can see our capacity. We haven't, you saw it, there is no more space. There is no more space. And what they tell you when you're getting into exporting, don't start if you can't continue. So we've got an order for 100 boxes from Texas. Next time if they see, and that costs as much to send as a whole container. Next time, if you want a whole container, you say, hey, we don't have enough. They say, don't do that. So we want to build a purpose-built winery there with the big steel drums and have it like a small winery in South Africa with a capacity of about 100,000 litres. Here we're 25. And this would still be like head office, and we probably would still do the bottling and finishing and the marketing and still do the events here. But could do events there as well. So that's quite exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so on a muddy Saturday you can come out and help plant fruit trees.
Yeah, no problem. So anything else you would like to let people know about Linga Wine, or maybe anything?
We've virtually never heard anyone complain of hangovers or headaches. You know, some people, oh, wine gives me headache. It doesn't happen with Linga. I mean, I won't guarantee it, but in 20 years of production, it doesn't. It's just so pure. You know, there's a tiny sprinkle of sulfite goes in at the very end, but it's like tiny one, and already the fruit has natural sulfur. But even people who normally get hangover if you drink 2.5 bottles in a Malawi gin, you will have a hangover. But normally it's just so pure that it doesn't give you headaches or side effects. So we can really recommend that. There is no reason why you would not drink Linga. The other thing that I should have explained, if you put 1/3 of Linga and 2/3 of Sprite, you get something that's just like Savannah's Hunter's Golds, and it's absolutely beautiful. If I can manage before you go, I'll show you, because people, when they drink it, they say, wow. You know, so you have a tall glass, you've got ice, 1/3 Linga, 2/3 Sprite or soda, maybe you put in some mint leaf, strawberry, whatever you like, and it is absolutely to die for. So these are the things. We should be creative, we should dare to be different, we should say, I'm going to support the home team. You know, there's no chibenefit to be giving jobs to people outside when your brothers are walking around saying, I'm Chichewa,
that's lovely. It was so nice to hear about Linga Wine and the incredible work that you're doing.
It's so exciting.
And I can't wait for you to have to start producing more, like you're saying that's your next project.
We're just, if it hadn't been for COVID, we would have been more seriously trying to engage with potential funders. The problem with getting funding is it's a long time before you can repay from the wine, because, as I say, the trees, the fruit is something. It's not a quick fix. You don't buy the powder from Korea and put it in the bottle and you've got something. This is slowly fermented in the cool cellar, as we say.
So let's cheers to the wine.
Cheers.
All right, so people, you can get the Linga Wine in most of the shops around. Like Mrs. Ngwira has said, you can manage to get it in Spa and Boe and different other shops.
It's on our website. On the website there's a full list. We also sell wholesale for people who want to. They can buy the boxes of 12 at a cheaper price. We're interested in that. We have wine tasting events. We have... It's for grown-ups.
Yeah, it's lovely. I love it.
It's lovely, isn't it? Yeah. And the mulberries.
Okay. Alright guys, so there you have it. Get yourself some Linga Wine in most of the shops in Malawi. You can also get in touch with Mrs. Ngwira for any collaboration. Follow them on their social media. So yeah, keep it how I made it. Until next time, it's Ngug International. Goodbye.
I've gotta do, so I'm not crying.